Breaking now, a state agency issues a new directive after earthquakes strike in central Oklahoma, and how Tennessee state representatives held members accountable for unruly behavior. Plus, find out how you could give an animal in need a second chance. This is Nightly at 4. We begin with breaking news. The Oklahoma Corporation Commission has issued a new directive after a 4.0 magnitude earthquake struck yesterday morning in Lincoln County. Good evening, I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Carolyn Felling. The directive will limit the amount of oil and gas wastewater disposal in the area. The commission says the directive applies to sites within a 10-mile radius of yesterday's earthquake. This means 23 disposal wells will be impacted by the change.
The wells inject wastewater into the Arbuckle Formation, which is the deepest in Oklahoma. The commission says reductions will be implemented over 4 weeks to avoid a sudden pressure change that could lead to more earthquakes.
All of this comes after a series of earthquakes in Oklahoma.
OU meteorologist Josh Duncan is tracking those quakes. Josh, this is unusual activity.
Yeah, taking a look at the map now of the earthquake activity, it's really been focused near Kearney, Oklahoma. This is a few miles northwest of Chandler. It's really just a few miles north of I-44 here. And we recently had a 3.4 magnitude earthquake this morning at around 8 o'clock. And then just here within the past half hour, another much smaller earthquake of around a 1.9. So this activity continuing. But on the brighter side of things, temperatures have been very nice today. Check out the current numbers in the upper 60s and low 70s. It's 72 in Enid, 68 degrees here in Norman, and winds are light across most of the state, gusting up to around 19 miles per hour here at OU, but stronger wind gusts in the Panhandle coming out of the south. You combine that with low humidity, the air is very dry, and that's leading to a risk of high fire weather across our Panhandle counties. That warning goes until 8 o'clock. So we're tracking that and a chance for rain on Easter Sunday. Those details coming up.
Thanks, Josh. A former OU running quarterback is in hot water once again. Cincinnati police charged Joe Mixon with aggravated menacing. This comes after officers say Mixon pointed a gun at a woman on January 21st, the same day as the Bengals playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. The initial charge was dismissed less than 24 hours after it was filed. The team released a statement today saying that they are aware of the misdemeanor charges against Mixon and are monitoring the situation.
An extraordinary move in Nashville as the Tennessee's Republican-controlled legislature forced out 2 Democrats. Lawmakers say the pair broke Tennessee House rules regarding a protest over gun violence after the Nashville school shooting. Their action prompted protests in the city and debate across the country. CNN's Jackie Delpiller has the latest.
A historic day at the Tennessee Capitol as the House considered expelling members for the 3rd time since the Civil War. Republican lawmakers filed resolutions to expel Representatives Gloria Johnson, Justin Jones, and Justin Pearson for unruly behavior on the House floor. First up on the schedule, Justin Jones. Jones told members he broke House rules in order to voice his constituents' concerns on gun violence.
I walked up to the well because you were pushing my people back. We brought a megaphone because you cut our people off and you cut their representatives off from the microphone, time after time after time after time after time again.
But that wasn't enough to sway the Republican supermajority, who voted to expel Jones from his Davidson County seat. Next up, Representative Gloria Johnson. She told members she stood by her colleagues in protest, but never yelled or used a bullhorn. Johnson will keep her Knox County seat after the measure shockingly failed by just 1 vote.
I have to raise the voice of the people in my district. And I did what I felt those folks wanted me to do. It's not a secret. My folks sent me here because they know I'm a fighter. They know I will fight for them.
Finally, Representative Justin Pearson took the hot seat, telling members he stood for what he felt was right and did not think his actions warrant an expulsion.
We're here today witnessing injustice against the First Amendment. We spoke up for gun control and the end of gun violence.
The vote to expel Pearson passes by 3 votes, vacating the Shelby County seat. Shame on you! Supporters in the House balcony erupted in protest and tears following the announcement.
The expelled lawmakers say they acknowledge they did not follow decorum by walking onto the House floor and speaking without being formally recognized, but they maintain that the vote to expel was racially motivated. Well, coming up on Nightly at 4, find out which garden is blooming in Oklahoma City
and how you can make the most out of your Easter weekend. Another way you can enjoy a beautiful weekend in Norman is just a short walk from campus.
The farmers market is open again, and we have the details up next.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather, your campus weather authority.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
And a busy weekend ahead as spring is in full swing. OU Nightly's got you covered with all the fun happening around the metro. Tomorrow, the 3rd annual Oklahoma Brewers Fest kicks off at Chickshaw Bricktown Ballpark. There will be 2 Saturday sessions, one from noon to 3 p.m. The evening sessions last from 5 to 8 p.m.
The event will feature 50 craft brewers across the state, and organizers say over 300 beers will be on site for attendees to taste. You must be 21 years or older to attend, and tickets are on sale now starting at $50. Also happening this weekend, the first ever Tulip Festival in OKC starts tomorrow.
There will be food and live music for all ages. The fun will take place at the Myriad Botanical Gardens, and visitors will be able to see over 30,000 tulips.
Although admission is free, personnel working with the festival will be on hand to accept donations. The gardens rely on donations to maintain flowers and carry out its missions of offering free and fairly priced community activities.
The event runs from Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And tomorrow, the Norman Farmers Market begins at 8 a.m., lasting until 1 p.m. It will take place at the Cleveland County Wellness Square, just walking distance from OU's campus. With over 80-plus vendors, this is the perfect place to sip, sample, and shop locally.
So the Norman Farm Market is actually one of the oldest farm markets in the state, but our location at the well is new. This is our second full season.
The farm market happens every Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. going until July, and on Saturdays from 8 to 1 p.m.
Well, an exciting Easter egg hunt is just a few hours away, and OU Nightly's Mecca Thompson has a basket load of information on the fun that you can expect. Mecca?
Yeah, Emily and Carolyn, I do have a basket load of information. I could not find the Easter Bunny just yet, but I did find myself a little game of cornhole here, and this is just one of the fun events that they have in plan for later on. And just right behind me, you can see they're starting to set up with a spring egg hunt sign, and I got the chance to speak with one of the planners behind the event, and here's what's in store for this evening.
And up next on Nightly at 4, we are positive you will fall in love with a sweet pup.
That's right. Find out more on this week's Pet of the Week coming up next.
And some very nice weather this evening with temperatures falling through the 60s and into the 50s by 9 o'clock. Light winds around central Oklahoma. But we're tracking a chance of rain for some parts of the state coming up later on in the weekend. We'll time it out with Futurecast after the break.
To Sophia and Gabriel, even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather with Campus Weather Authority.
Well, it is now time for the Pet of the Week. There are so many pets who need homes at shelters across central Oklahoma.
This week, we're meeting Lady Mechanic. She is about 1 year old and is ready to find a loving home after her puppies were adopted.
She's a good girl. This is Lady Mechanic. She is about 1 to 2 years old. She came from a shelter in the city. She was at risk of euthanasia, her and her puppies. had her puppies, was a great mom, and now she's waiting for her turn to find a family. She is spunky and playful, but she loves to just sit and relax in the sun. She's super friendly to dogs, cats, everyone, and she just likes to hang out. We are holding a special event to try and get all of our pups adopted and our kitties too, so that they can find homes and be safe in their home instead of having to be in a crowded shelter environment where there's more risk for illness.
Hi.
Well, isn't she just the cutest? Makes me want to adopt her. Well, if you or someone you know is interested in Lady Mechanic or any of the other pets from Second Chance, you can visit their website at secondchancenorman.com. It is truly never too late to help a pet in need.
We've got some crazy weather video from North Dakota. A blizzard dumped more than a foot of snow across the state. You can see plows are clearing snow that covered I-94 near Valley City, and the highway is finally open after being shut down for the past 2 days.
All that snow in the northern plains, part of a storm system that brought severe weather across the middle part of the country. But of course, around here, it is way too warm for any sort of snow. Check out your forecast for tomorrow. Out the door Saturday morning, temperatures in the low to mid 40s, around 44 by 8 a.m. Check out by noon, we're already up to 61 with quite a bit of sunshine for your Saturday. And as we get into the afternoon, temperatures topping out in the upper 60s to right around 70 with light winds. So it'll be a great start to the weekend coming up for tomorrow. Then on Sunday, of course, Easter Sunday, and the weather is also looking great for most of the state. We'll have similar temperatures, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Once again, light winds out of the southeast, generally under 10 miles per hour, but there will be a few more clouds, especially as we get into the afternoon. That's ahead of our next storm system. But again, for Easter Sunday itself, if you have any Easter egg hunts that you're going to, no issues with the weather. It is just going to be fantastic during the morning hours. But here we go. Here's a look at Futurecast. By 8 a.m. Sunday, you can start to see the rain developing in the far western Texas panhandle. This is going to spread to the east as we go later throughout Sunday morning. So watch the time here as we get into the afternoon. The rain starting to spread into far western Oklahoma, and some of these colors here that you see, the yellows, the oranges, indicating some moderate to locally heavy rainfall early Sunday afternoon. But watch what happens as this tries to move to the east. It kind of hits a brick wall and starts to fall apart. So the rain chances are lower across the eastern half of the state. So here's the breakdown for Sunday. We'll call it a 40 to a 60% chance of rain. There could be a few thunderstorms in here as well from western Oklahoma, Elk City up through Woodward. Then that chance drops off to 20% as we approach the central part of the state. And then on Monday, again, this system sliding to the east, but it starts to lose its moisture. So the chance of rain going down, but we will still have a 40% chance of rain from Enid through OKC, Norman, and Lawton for Monday throughout the day, and then lower chances across eastern Oklahoma. So in terms of rainfall from the system, it's not going to be a whole lot. Some lucky spots across the far west could get up over a ½ inch. Elsewhere, probably a few hundredths of an inch at best. So it won't put a big dent in the drought except for across the far west, which is really where they need most of the rain. And then after that, we're going to enter a quiet weather pattern and a very mild weather pattern. Temperatures next week near average. Keep in mind our averages right now is climbing from the mid 70s into the upper 70s. So some very nice weather on the way as we go through Monday, Tuesday, get the rain out of here, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it is really going to heat up. But even right now, it's not too bad. Taking a look at the campus cam here at the South Oval, the University of Oklahoma, we've got clear blue skies, current temperature 68 degrees with a northeast wind at about 19 miles per hour. That will be coming down. Then overnight tonight, it will be a bit chilly. Lows in the low 30s in the Panhandle, 36 in Enid, 42 in Norman, and the upper 40s to near 50 near the Red River. And your Saturday forecast, lots of 70s creeping into the map. We'll go 71 in Elk City, 69 in Norman, and 68 up in the northeast part of the state in Miami for a high Saturday afternoon. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast. Yeah, we've got a rain chance coming in. Again, Sunday for areas west, Monday for central Oklahoma, but it's only a 40% chance. A few thunderstorms possible. Then look at this nice weather headed our way. 74 Tuesday, 76 Wednesday, upper 70s for the end of next week. Stay with us. OU Nightly returns right after this.
If a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane, you can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
The OU Asian American Student Association is hosting a Super Smash Brothers tournament and is looking for participants. It will be held next Friday and pre-registration is costing $7, where all proceeds will go to a medical clinic in OKC. The association says it's passionate about philanthropy and the community, and this event allows it to do both through loving something.
The Asian American community has a thriving gaming community, has a thriving gaming space. Look at me, I'm a nerd. So this is a chance for us to like bond over a common interest we have and raise money while we do it. And isn't that like the best part?
You do not have to be a paid member or Asian American to sign up. So if you'd like to participate, email the address on your screen.
Well, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Caught on Camera. For our first Caught on Camera video of the week, we have got one firefighter's claim to fame. Paris Condros has more on the story.
Thanks, ladies. The first video we have for today showcases a heroic act of bravery. Out in Frankfort, Indiana, a major house fire took place with many individuals trapped inside. Officers were quick to respond and jump into action, pulling out multiple people, including a baby. The video shows an officer's body cam footage of the close call recovery. The reason for the fire is still under investigation, but thankfully no one was injured. This next video we have is one that resulted in some very angry birds. The incident took place in a town out in Massachusetts where some cranky turkeys began causing chaos. Aggressively chasing cars and terrorizing the town, these turkeys were out to find their mate. It is currently mating season, and when these birds see those cars, they see competition. Officials are now asking residents to quit feeding the birds in hopes of a solution. And our last video shows how police got a massive brain freeze from a couple crazy criminals. A Dairy Queen out in Phoenix was robbed of its iconic 15-foot, $3,500 red spoon, as seen in the video. After nearly a week of searching, police got an inside scoop from a local resident. The spoon was then found at a nearby middle school field. The search for the suspects is still on thin ice. And that wraps up our videos for this week. Back to y'all at the desk.
Well, thank you so much, Paris. Let's peep on over to one town in Pennsylvania that has been taken over by one very popular Easter candy. Now, the bright-colored marshmallowy candy has been transformed into a unique art competition for the 4th year in a row, which I think is pretty amazing. And the only rules that apply is every submission must be made with peeps.
Here, guests will find an excellent assortment of over 130 masterpieces on display, from hot air balloons to one of OU's very own Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts. The sky is the limit for this kind of creativity, Emily.
Oh my gosh, I really wish I was creative enough to make something out of marshmallow peeps. I don't know if I could do that.
I know, same here. And the Easter Bunny came early to a California police department, but this bunny carries comfort, not candy. Percy, also known as an Officer Hops, was found abandoned with no family, but found a home within the department and even gets to hop in on the action.
Oh, I love it. Now, Officer Hops doesn't just come once a year. He's around all year long at the police station, and he helps relieve the pressures of day-to-day duties for police officers as a therapy bunny. After all, he is a bunny with a job to do. Now, that's so cute. I wish we had a therapy bunny here.
Seriously, Emily, I can't even with the puns today.
I know. Thank you so much for watching OU Nightly.
And I'm Carolyn Felling.
It's not a method that we can get the type of properties that we're looking for, because we're competing with state-of-the-art structural materials, which are carbon fiber composites. So around 5 years ago, we actually switched approach and worked with a vendor so that we use predominantly continuous format of carbon nanotubes. Now, the challenge there is that in the bulk form, it does not have the kind of properties that were existing in the nanoscale. We had to basically optimize the process to take advantage of these processes and work in collaboration with the manufacturer to also optimize those properties from the starting material. So they had to modify their production process to accommodate this. And so there was interactive exchange of information so that we can both get better material properties. In a span of about 3 years, we've made significant advances that take us far from where we started, to the degree that I can say that just 2 years ago, we did not have the kind of properties we have now.
And where do you see the future, or how close are you into perfecting carbon nano composites?
So
that's kind of a big question.
Perfection, yes, perfection is hard to achieve. So
yeah.
So here's the thing. When you talk about perfection, we are comparing against a material that's been around for about 50 years, right? Although we've come a long way when we actually analyze the materials that we have now for carbon nanotubes, they're nowhere near optimal. The good news is, despite them not being optimal, they're already performing at par with some carbon fiber composites, right? There's a lot of upside to this material that we don't fully understand at this point. And so there's very large areas of research yet that we can explore to really tap the potential of this material.
Now, earlier, Steve Gaddis said that they are working for a high reward from high risk. What is the reward you're looking for from carbon nanotube composites?
When we first started looking at carbon nanotubes, the reason we're looking at it is because there's high potential for this material to be a disruptive technology. And the reason is it is multiple times stronger and stiffer than carbon fiber. What we're trying to do now is we are looking to optimize it so that it is at least 2 or 3 times stronger yet than what is possible now. And the reason is
The Tennessee House expels 2 lawmakers, while critics say it violates free speech. Plus, the Secretary of Energy visits Oklahoma for a big announcement, and what you need to know for your Easter forecast. This is OU Nightly.
Losing our democracy. That is what's happening in the state of Tennessee.
2 Tennessee House representatives were expelled yesterday. Democrats Joan and Pearson were protesting in favor of gun control. The decision has been criticized by Democrat politicians and civil liberties groups who say the move distracts from gun violence. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Morgan Martin.
And I'm Pepper Papura. The expulsion of 2 Black, now former Tennessee lawmakers is causing some confusion. OU Nightly's Carly Vargas is live from the OU Law School with how some are reacting to the decision. Carly.
That's right. The Tennessee House voted to expel Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, and many are questioning whether or not this is discrimination. I sat down with an OU law student to get some perspective.
I wasn't surprised when I heard about the situation.
The Tennessee House voting to expel their representatives.
I think it's very typical for Black people to be treated in the way that Representative Pearson and Representative Jones have been treated.
3 Democratic lawmakers protested in favor of gun control just a few weeks after a deadly school shooting in Nashville. Jones and Pearson were the only 2 expelled, a move that many are calling racially charged, including the only representative who was spared by 1 vote.
I think it's pretty clear I'm a 60-year-old white woman, and they are 2 young Black men. In listening to the questions and the way they were questioned and the way they were talked to, it was completely different.
The controversial vote also leading some to believe that it violates free speech and the right to protest.
They're being reprimanded so harshly for something that they don't deserve. They should be able to protest something that about an issue that's extremely important to them, that's important to their constituents.
The House has only expelled members twice in the history of Congress, once for sexual assault and once for bribery. Reporting live from the OU College of Law, Carly Vargas, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Carly. Vice President Kamala Harris is meeting with those 2 congressmen expelled today. While she addresses them in Tennessee, her husband is here in Oklahoma. On top of his duties as the second gentleman, he and the Secretary of Energy are announcing plans to invest in the state. They say the goal is to attract higher-paying jobs, working with cutting-edge technology. OU Nightly's Dakota McDowell-Wakichi reports.
Oklahomans are celebrating across the state after the U.S. Department of Energy made an announcement here at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater.
Oklahoma State University has one of the 37 industrial centers funded by the United States Department of Energy on college campuses across the nation. Today, some news brought joy to OSU's president, Casey Schrum.
Regional university partners, I want to thank the Secretary for the great news she shared with us today.
And that news was?
Today, I am proud to announce that we are awarding nearly $19 million to 5 universities who will host new IAC Centers of Excellence, including the Great Plains Center of Excellence right here at OSU.
Grinholm says the Great Plains Center of Excellence is the first step toward a different America.
We want all these products made in America, stamped made in America, used here and exported elsewhere. We want all that wind that the governor was talking about, all those turbines, we want them made in America. We want all the pieces, the supply chains made in America.
The Industrial Assessment Center at OSU will give students the opportunity to change the future.
And the thing that is so important is that it does give students this hands-on ability to see technology in action, to see how to reduce carbon emissions, price of energy, reduce energy use on site.
Now, the second gentleman met with Chickasaw Nation Governor Bill Anatubby at the First Americans Museum after leaving Stillwater. He then went on to meet with tribal nations leaders on OU's campus. In Stillwater, Dakota McDowell-Pekichi, OU Nightly.
Our visitors say this initiative is part of a bigger plan to get manufacturing jobs that moved overseas back to the U.S.
And it's been so nice out today, and with it rolling into Easter weekend, I'm hoping this weather can stick around.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this warmth, but my allergies, it's really getting to me. Peyton Gallion has a look at the current conditions outside. Peyton?
That is right. It has turned into a beautiful day. Temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s across the state. 69 here in Norman, 71 in Lawton. But I feel like we can't have nice things because with these warmer temperatures, just look at the allergy index. That tree pollen is in that high category, whereas grass, weeds, and mold pollen is still relatively low. I am sniffling and sneezing, but coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to talk more about that fire weather warning, the weekend warm-up, and your Easter forecast.
Thanks, Peyton. Conflict is continuing to rise in the Middle East as airstrikes are exchanged between nations.
Hear why the Israeli military says it's on high alert.
And 2 more states are restricting gender-affirming care for children.
Find out which states are going to feel the impact coming up.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather, your campus weather authority.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Tensions boiling over on the Israel-Lebanon border today. Victoria Anderson has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Border tensions escalate in the Middle East, now leaving 2 dead. The conflict erupting in airstrikes, rockets, and gunfire between Israel and Lebanese groups. All this after a weeks-long worth of tension, starting with an Israeli police raid at a Jerusalem mosque Wednesday. Experts say this is the largest show of violence between both countries since the 2006 war. Indiana and Idaho are joining a growing list of states rolling back gender-affirming care for minors. Their new laws criminalize medication and surgeries for transitions, also requiring minors on these medications to stop taking them by next year. Today, Kansas is passing a similar bill. If approved, will be the 14th gender-affirming ban in the nation.
Idaho is also passing new legislation restricting travel for abortion access. Anyone helping a minor reach abortion access in other states now faces 2 to 5 years behind bars. This includes any aid from money to transportation. The bill goes into effect next month, making Idaho the most abortion restrictive state in the nation. And the Kennedy political legacy continues today as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has filed election paperwork to run against Biden in the 2024 election. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Victoria. Norman is getting a jump start on Easter tonight.
The Easter Bunny will be making a special visit in the city.
And it's warming up outside, but these dry conditions are a recipe for wildfires.
Coming up in Maine weather, Peyton Gallian's going to tell us about the fire risk across Oklahoma. Peyton?
Yeah, that's right. Right here in campus, we don't have that fire threat, but coming up, I'm going to tell you where in the state they are on edge.
Things like grass clippings and leaves can contribute harmful levels of nutrients into our surface and drinking water. We must improve water quality at Lake Thunderbird, our main drinking water source, which begins with taking care of our stormwater. Bag your clippings when mowing, or leave them to break down and nourish your lawn. We drink our stormwater, so don't blow it by leaving your grass clippings in the street. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather, your campus weather authority.
Welcome back to OU Nightly, and taking a look at the South Oval right now, it is a beautiful day. You can see not a cloud in the sky. I'm surprised more people aren't outside enjoying this lovely weather. 68 degrees. Once again, clear skies. That dew point is relatively low, 19 degrees. It's going to be very dry, and that wind also is very high, almost 20 miles an hour. That's what you need to take in consideration for that fire danger I'm going to talk about later on. But across the rest of the metro, once again, upper 60s, lower 70s, overall a great day across the state of Oklahoma. But once again, these dew points, you can see just how low they are. And once you get into the panhandle, they are in the single digits. That is crucial for fire weather. And drought conditions are also horrible up in that panhandle, but along the I-44 corridor, you can see where parts of the state have gotten rain and where parts of the state have not gotten rain. And looking at these wind gusts, you can see pretty strong across the main majority of the state. But once again, I'm going to point out that panhandle. You can see gusts in the 20s, closer to the 30s. And that is where we have these red flag warnings you can see in Guymon and only 2 counties across the state of Oklahoma, but that does not mean other counties need to be like, we don't have to care about this, because this weather we have going on, it's dry, it's windy. Anything is possible with the fire weather we had the last few weeks. And taking a look at the big picture, you can see that rain is clearing out and going throughout the rest of the weekend. We're going to be fairly clear here in Norman until about Sunday afternoon. And overnight, you see these storms starting to pop up in western Oklahoma, which is going to relieve some of that dry temperature. But I don't think it's going to be a lot to ruin those Easter plans. So you can see for your Easter weekend, warm temperatures, pretty clear, maybe partly cloudy skies, but nothing's going to ruin your plans. And as we go in through the rest of the week, we're finally warming up, and I want you to take advantage of these temperatures. 69 Saturday, 69 Sunday, 69 again on Monday. We do have that chance of rain from Monday, so keep that in mind, grab that umbrella. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we are back into the upper 70s. Not a lot of rain chances until we get into the latter half of next week. No severe weather chance in your forecast, so enjoy these next few days, and we'll be back right after this break.
Thanks, Peyton. Easter weekend is here, and the city of Norman is ringing in the holiday with their annual spring egg hunt in Andrews Park.
OU Nightly's Mecca Thompson is live there right now. Mecca, have you seen the Easter Bunny yet?
Ladies, I have not run into the Easter Bunny just yet, but I did make a little friend here, and you can get these balloons made tonight here at the park. And if you take a look behind me, they just set up the spring egg hunt banner. The Beanstalk snow cone truck is here, and I also got the chance to speak with one of the planners behind the event, and here's what's in store for later on.
We start at 5:30 with some activities. You can get your pictures with the spring egg bunny, and it's we've got snow cones, we've got face painting, all the fun stuff you would see. Then at 6:30 we sound the sirens with the fire department and police department, and it's a go, and it's usually done in about 10 minutes.
So there's a lot of Easter fun happening here at Andrews Park today. Come out, have a good time. Reporting live, Mecca Thompson, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Mecca, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. Stick around because Big Friday Sports is next.
With more on the leading ladies of the softball world. Kinsey, how's the season going?
Morgan, Pepper, this Sooners softball team never disappoints. The Sooners are still #1 and are 34-1 on the season. Plus, we've got video of the play you won't want to miss after this.
In Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Kenzie Eiserman.
And I'm Addison Arthur. Today we have a swinging show, so let's head into the most talked about event this week. The Masters is in full swing right now, and it's coming down to who's going to make the cut.
Coming into today, 3 people were tied after the first round with hopes of winning the green jacket.
Brooks Koepka is in the lead, and Sooner alum Abram Ancer is currently at even par.
As exciting as the leaderboard is, the action was delayed today due to weather. So let's swing it over to our weather team for a quick update on the weather in Augusta.
Yeah, that is right. Looking at the radar around Augusta right now, you can see several pop-up showers, even down south in Wrightsville. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Play was suspended earlier this afternoon, then it resumed, and about an hour ago, it was also suspended. Grounds were evacuated, even after a tree fell near hole 17, but this rain does not look like it is letting up anytime soon. Just look how strong this cell is right just south of Augusta. And the rain looks like it's going to be a problem pretty much for the rest of the tournament. Going into tomorrow's play, there's a 100% chance of rain, and you can see that temperature drop to 51 degrees. Just that cold front coming through, dropping these temperatures again on Sunday. 61 degrees, rain is in that forecast, and winds are not going to let up either. So definitely something players need to take into consideration.
Thanks, Peyton. And in the first game of their series against Texas Tech, OU softball Avery Hodge had an outstanding diving catch in the outfield.
And offensively for OU, Haley Lee hit a bomb for her 9th home run of the season. The Sooners shut out Texas Tech in an exciting 3-0 win Thursday night. Head coach Patty Gasso says she liked the team's execution in Game 1.
A lot of times if you have 2 of the 3 parts of your game working well, you're going to find ways to win, and that's really the story tonight. But I thought their plan and their pitchers coming in the way they did offset us a little bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring tomorrow, because I'm looking forward to seeing how our team's going to respond.
On to the next diamond, the OU baseball team took an early lead, but unfortunately didn't have the same outcome in Waco. The game was tied 4-4 until the Bears pulled away in the bottom of the 7th.
The Sooners ultimately dropped the series opener at Baylor. The next match of the series is tonight at 6:30 p.m. The spring game is just right around the corner, which means football season is almost here.
Head coach Brent Venables says he's excited about this year's team.
I really like the group of guys. They worked really hard competing and straining. I see a lot of strain. I see a lot of competition across the board. You go through every position group and talk about competition. And got a few guys banged up, the normal bumps and bruises, but really appreciated guys having the right mindset, showing up with a mindset of improving, getting better.
Well, they are in Augusta, but OU women's golf started play in the Big 12 match tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona today through Sunday. 6 Sooners will rep the Crimson and Cream, playing 2 rounds on Friday and 1 on Saturday. Then the top 8 teams will advance to the semifinals.
On the tennis courts, OU men's tennis showed out on Thursday against their Bedlam rivals. OU defeated OSU 6-1 away from home. The Sooners will close out the regular season at home and host Baylor and Texas Tech next weekend.
Over to the women's team, it'll be a battle of closely ranked teams as the number 18 Sooners host the number 19 Pokes today at 5 p.m. The Sooners currently have 3 players ranked individually, and the reigning national double champs Carmen and Ivana Corley are ranked 9th.
Our own Parker Abel sat down to talk with senior walk-on Blake Seacat about his time at OU and how much the Sooner basketball means to him. Here's his story on Seacat's Sooner connections.
What does it mean to be an Oklahoma Sooner?
Legacy. It's a family thing.
You may see Grant Sherfield and Tanner Gross suiting up for the Oklahoma Sooners, but there is more to the team than just the bucket getters. Blake Seacat is a senior walk-on for OU, and he is living out his dream.
This is just where I've always wanted to be. I mean, I grew up an Oklahoma Sooner fan and knew that this was my goal from day one. And I just can't believe that this dream actually got to come true. It's really everything you'd ever want.
While suiting up for OU may have been his ultimate goal, it's not always easy being a walk-on, and Blake has to realize it's not always about him.
Adjust to things, and not everything's going to go your way, and that's going to be all right. You got to be able to just roll with the punches and help out any way you can. That's all it's about, is just helping.
But for Blake, it's more than just basketball. He does this for his grandfather.
He used to play here back in the 50s, and I just really do it for him. He's not with us anymore. He never got to see me play at OU, but he definitely has always been watching, and I always keep going for him.
While Blake Seacat might sit at the end of the bench during the game, his impact on the team is bigger than you might think.
To be a walk-on, you got to be selfless. And Blake is selfless. He comes every day. I know he battled an Achilles injury, so half my time with him, he's been battling injury. But when he's been around, he's selfless. He cares about the team, does whatever he needs to do, wherever he needs to do it.
He's been huge to the program. He's been huge to me and my brother, I know, and just, you know, outside of just being a really great teammate, he's a really good friend. And so It's always good to have someone like that on your team, especially being a walk-on. It's not always the easiest life.
And on senior night for Blake, he got to get on the court at the LNC one final time. Parker Abels, Sooner Sports Pad.
Coming up next, we'll tell you what it takes for the Thunder to earn a spot in the playoffs.
And a new professional sport is heading to Oklahoma. We'll give you details on the new team. Don't turn away.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that about 23% of Oklahoma's river and stream miles are impaired by bacteria? Pet waste can pollute surface and drinking waters like Lake Thunderbird by contributing harmful levels of bacteria. Be sure to pick up after your furry friend when you're out and about. We drink our stormwater, so please do your part to help protect it. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Friday sports, pickleball is quickly sweeping the nation among all ages.
OU Nightly's Brooklyn Sweet heads to OKC's hub for the sport for more on how the sport is growing locally.
Chicken and Pickle hosts the fastest growing sport in America.
This is just the beginning, and then we're going to blow up.
Think of pickleball like this. It's played on a badminton-sized court with tennis-sized wiffle balls, but the sport is played at a ping-pong pace.
The venue, now home to the newest professional sports team.
Congratulations, Oklahoma City. You're only one of 6 cities in year 1 of 2023.
The National Pickleball League recently hosted a combine to look at players from around the world for the upcoming draft this month.
I mean, we wanted to give an opportunity for all the pro players around the world to show their abilities to play with people of their age.
The Oklahoma City Punishers will consist of athletes 50 years and older.
Out of the 16 players that are going to be on Oklahoma City's team, one of the 8 men and one of the 8 women must be 60 plus.
Bringing another professional sports team into the city will impact in more ways than one.
So once the NPL grows and we work with them in the future, I can see that really developing for Chicken and Pickle in good ways and them in good ways, and the city as a whole too.
The NPL season will begin in June. Reporting from Chicken and Pickle in Oklahoma City, Brooklyn Sweet, OU Nightly.
The Thunder's playoff hopes still hang in the balance.
Standing in their way was the Utah Jazz on Thursday.
Early in the final seconds in the first, a clean pass to Isaiah Joe for a wide open 3.
The Thunder continued that same energy and drive throughout the rest of the game, ultimately allowing them to win 114-98. The Thunder are a win away from making the playoffs.
Or the Dallas Mavs have to lose one of their next 2 games to help out the Thunder in their postseason hopes.
The Thunder's next game against the Grizzlies on Sunday could make or break this team's dreams.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Kenzie Eiserman.
And I'm Addison Arthur. Tune in to OU Nightly on Monday for a recap of this weekend's action in sports. Good night.